Hello, Stampers. It's June Lucal, and I'm here to start our mystery card. Hopefully, we will have a few people join us. I have something fun for you today. I think, well, hopefully, you got the clue number one, and we'll go over it. As usual, I will put two cards together in the same time that you do one. And I don't know. It's so strange seeing this backwards when I'm doing this. So that's why I moved the paper one way or the other. And I haven't figured out how to show me as well. So you just won't get to see that. That's really not that important compared to all the other things, right? So, first of all, oh, by the way, first of all, if you have not signed up for youcanstamp.com, you should, to get notifications, because I'm trying to do kind of, I've got all sorts of things going on, and the next event will be posted very soon, and I don't want anyone to miss that. So please make sure that you get notifications, and you can go to youcanstamp.com. I don't know, I'm trying to steer a little bit away from Facebook, but I do believe that YouTube offers notifications. So I think you ring the bell, that little bell that's below the screen. So if you can do that, that too will help. All right. So in the description, I included clue number one. It should also have been on youcanstamp.com and on Facebook. So hopefully you have these materials. So let's go over this. First of all, find a stamp set with 3 to 4 different sizes of the same or coordinating things that could be stamped in any directions. For example, snowflakes, flower heads, leaves, hearts, etc. I suggest medium, small, and tiny images. You can use speckles instead of tiny images if you want. All right, so I'm going to use this brand new one that's called Lucky Clover. And I have a bigger one, a medium one, a small one, and then very small ones. And I debated if I honestly didn't actually make a sample yet. This is kind of this, I don't know. There's just not enough time in the day. So I may or may not use this one. Definitely will use these though. So that's one example, because they can go in any direction. Okay, and then the other one that I want to do with you guys is artistically inked. And I'm going to do this ranunculus kind of thing. I'm going to have speckles here and these little tiny flowers. Okay, I thought about a leaf, but I think I'm just going to do those 3. Okay, then find 3 colors of ink, 1 for each size. One should be relatively darker for the words. Might be nice to go monochromatic or analogous colors. Analogous means colors next to each other on the color wheel, but it's not necessary. So my Lucky Clover one, I'm going to do 3 shades of green. So I've got Mossy Meadow. That's going to be my darkest one for the words. And then Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive, which I forgot to get out. All right. So we have like kind of a light, medium, and dark. So there's my monochromatic. And then the other card I'm going to do is a little bit different. We're going to do Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, and Balmy Blue. Okay. Then also find a word greeting stamp that fits in a 2-inch wide by 1 3/4 inch tall space. So I'm going to use Best Wishes, which is very small compared to what you really need. And then for the flowered one, and then Sending Luck and Love for the clover one. And optional, a corner punch. Well, I am going to use this corner punch. This is one of the newer ones. Let's see, they get that. All right. So I tried this one and wasn't as happy with the results. I did try this one. Okay. And it came out very cool. So I'm going to, this is the trio punch, I believe. And then here's the rest of the list. So color 1, that's going to be standing out the most. Cardstock that's cut 8.5 by 5.5 or lengthwise. I'm going to do and it's going to be scored and folded. Okay, so I have Old Olive. I picked the medium green for that one. Then for this set, that card, whatever, I'm going to use Balmy Blue. All right, and I fold it. I should have scored it, but all right. So here I have my card base, and then I need cardstock 4.5 by 3 inches. All right. And then I also need cardstock 3 1/4 by 2 inches. All right. Oh, and I already cut that one up or practiced on that one. So it is 2 inches by 3 1/4. So I'm going to make a new one. 3 1/4. All right. So there's our, oops, gotta, let me do that with the old olive. I have the 3 1/4, I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 3 inches, and then 3 1/4 by 2 inches. All right, and I have the ink pad. Colors 2 and 3 are ink pads. That's the second and third ink pads for that I mentioned. And then the other two for this one. I also need a 7-inch long piece of 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch wide ribbon that matches either color 2 or 3, or 1 if you need to. So I have, wow, that's barely 1/2 inch, but that is old olive. It's a discontinued one. And then here we have the new balmy blue, sort of a ombre kind of ribbon. So it's kind of white and kind of balmy blue. All right. So, all right. So there I have a piece that will go with my blue card. Then let's see, white or vanilla cardstock, cut in these 3 sizes. All right. 5 1/4 by 4, 4 by 2 3/4. And then the smallest one is 3 inches by 1 3/4. Boy, I think my whole vision is like more off to the left, it looks like. So how can I do this? Scooch most of this way, and I'll move this over. I hate to do things off the camera, which I have a terrible habit of doing that. Okay, so I have the white ready. Now, other things you'll need is a standard hole punch, which I do have right here. This is your standard dollar store type of deal. And then adhesive. Here I have Stamp and Seal. And then, or whatever you have is fine. Stampin' Dimensionals. That's an important one for this one. All right, it doesn't matter what size. I've got both. And then scissors. Scissors I'm going to actually be cutting ribbon with. Or actually, you could end up on one of the steps using regular scissors. Okay, everybody got their stuff? Hopefully. All right, now. Okay, clue number 2. If you're going to use a corner punch, punch all 4 corners of the 2 smaller white and vanilla and 2 color 1 rectangles. All right, so I'm going to do the cool corners on the one card, and I'll leave it plain for the other one. See how that looks. Oh, actually, I could do this corner tag one. All right, here is the other set of white pieces. Okay, so I need the smallest 2 white ones and smallest colored ones. Okay, I tried the corner tag punch and didn't like the effect. I didn't like this one. Not to say you couldn't do it, but I didn't like how it looked. You could cut off a corner, mirror the piece that you cut off to the opposite side of the rectangle, and trim off with scissors. Only do this with the white vanilla ones at first. Trim the other pieces when you get to clue 5. All right, that sounds complicated. All that means is if you're going to do the corners manually, if you will, don't do the color ones yet. All right, so what I'm talking about is if you cut, let's see, I'm going to cut one corner off, And then I'm going to flip it so that it's on this side. Okay. I don't know if you can tell. This washes out so much, it's so hard to tell. Okay. See how I flipped it over? All right. So I'll hold that. This is the hard manual way. If you have a corner punch, you can do that. All right. So all right. And then this will be the same kind of thing over here. All right. This is if you want to do something a little more manual. Okay. And you could do the same thing with this. Okay. Now, if you have that great punch, though, you just want to make sure it's mirrored from this side to the other. Okay. So that it's symmetrical. That's the idea. If you have just a simple rounded kind of quarter punch, then it's not going to really matter. If you have a label, a nested label die set, that would work great too. Or if you're just going to do rectangles, bear with me. Don't do anything. All right. So the good news is this is the hard part of the whole card if you're doing it this. All right. So there are my two kind of with the corners cut off. All right. So that's one way to do it. Or you can take I'm going to do this. Can you see it? This one. All right. So I'm going to, hold it in the same direction and then put the corner in and then do that. Now we take this out and we flip it over. All right. Then we flip it this way. Punch it, and then you flip it over. All right. And then you do that with all four of these. And we flip it over. All right, then we flip it this direction. And then you flip it again. All right. So see, if you cut it this way, let's see, this way, it would be the same on both sides. Or if this way, it would be the same on both sides. Like that. Does that make sense? I'm probably over-explaining that, but okay, let's see. And then like that. And then flip it this way. And this way. All right, now I've probably got a pretty big stack here of little pieces. All right, and then I actually did this other blue one later or before. So, okay. So that's clue 2. Now, clue 3, stamp your words in darker ink in the center of the smallest white or vanilla rectangle positioned horizontally. Smallest one positioned horizontally. Now put the color 1 pieces. Oh, let's do one thing at a time. Okay. So there are my 2 positioned horizontally. I'm going to do best wishes. This one seems like the darkest one by a smidge, but well, like I said, I didn't test this one out, but I think it'll be fine. So, okay. Then the darkest one is Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to do sending luck and love. Yep. I'm not usually much of a St. Patrick's Day person, but this one was really cute because I really like the words. Like sending luck and love is nice. And then good friend is like a four-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. So it felt a little bit more than just St. Patrick's Day. Okay. So there is that first part of clue 3. Now put aside the color 1 pieces and lightly temporarily attach only the 3 white rectangles centered with the smallest one on top. So let's put these colored ones aside. And then we have the 3 here. So these get layered on top, and then these get layered on top. We're going to lightly put those together. And I'm actually going to close this ink pad up again because I already got it on me. Almost put my elbow in it. Disaster walking today. Can't come up with words. All messy. All right, so I'm going to do a tiny amount, just a tiny bit, because this is just temporarily. It can rip if it needs to, but let's not, okay? So I put a tiny little bit. Oh, I just hate how this washes out and you can hardly see. All right, so there's just like a tiny little dot there, and I'm going to center that as best as I can. All right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of more there. This is just really to keep it from sliding around. And then this is going to go, oh, I already put some tape on that one. Well, hopefully that won't be an issue. Okay, so these are centered. See how I did that? Okay, but that's really, really tiny amount, so it doesn't, we can take it apart easy again. Okay. And then there. I really hope this works out. I switched one of the clues directions right before I came on. So, all right, so there's my other layered ones. Okay? Okay. That's clue 3. So, oh, and hey, by the way, I wanted to say hi. James is here and Julie. Thank you for coming. You guys are the best. No, I say that every time, but I mean it like times 100. Okay? So, thank you. I know other people will watch it later. I know, for example, my mom, she has something else she needs to do tonight, so she'll probably look at this later. But you are here now, and I appreciate that. So let's go on to clue 4. Assign each of your stamps a separate color ink pad. Using the 3 to 4 stamps and 3 colors of ink pads, stamp randomly and in every direction around the words and off the edge over all 3 layers, attached layers of white and vanilla, or vanilla, whatever. So I'm going to do this big one. I think I'm going to do that in the Calypso Coral, and then I will do these tiny ones in pink in the Blushing Bride, and then I'm going to do the speckles in blue behind all that. Oh, and you can't see any of that, but I described it. So, okay, speckles, blue, 2 kinds of flowers. They are assigned. Okay, and I guess let's do one at a time. So I'm actually going to have a piece of paper underneath this so that this isn't a disaster. So we're going to use the medium or the biggest one that you have. I'd say start with that because you can fit the other ones in easier. And then ink that up. And then we're going to start And I know there's going to be some white that didn't quite get inked, and that's totally fine. But I'm going to go off the edge, and I'm going to do, especially with this big one, I'm going to do 3 different, remember, like a scaling kind of triangle. Okay, I'm just going to do an odd number, so 3. Okay, then I will do, if I need to do more, I will, but let's start with that. Blushing Bride, we will do these smaller. Might have to go a little bit more with this one. Do that a bunch of times. I wish that was a little bit darker. Okay, might have gone a little too much on that. All right, we shall see. And then I'm going to fill in with the smallest one. And this one's going to be Balmy Blue. Is going to go all over. So see, this is where I'm talking about, where you can twist it around, sort of a random design. It's not going to actually, it can go this way or whatever. I mean, the words need to stay this way, but any of your images can go any direction. There. Okay, so that one's clue 4 for those colors. Now, let's put that one aside and let's do the green one. So we have Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive, and Mossy Meadow. And then we have all of these. So maybe I will do the biggest one, just to give me some variety. I think I'm going to do the smallest ones in the darkest color. Maybe I'll just do like one big one in the dark color, and then I'll do all the rest in the other colors. All right. Or maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So I'm going to just dive in, right? Okay. Okay. And then just a little something down here. Okay. Then get some of the extra off before it gets on me. That's it for the Mossy Meadow, which is one of the best colors. And I know Julie loves green, so I definitely was thinking of her with this one. Then I also have this one. Yeah, we'll do this one in the, what is this? Old Olive. This is the same color as the base and all that, so I definitely want to have plenty of that. But turn it around. And I'm going to do an odd number. Okay. So there is that. And I'm Got the smallest one. Well, smallest, like this is the 4 that I was talking about. So I'll do a little. Okay. And then this one's going to be fun. Oh, I did name Mossy Meadow again. Gosh. All right. This is going to be almost like a speckle. I use speckle literally on that other one, but this one's going to be really small clovers. Kind of filling in here. I like this one. Glad I did it. Just kind of fits in. Just all the places I needed it. I'm going to do this one just right like that. Well, not quite what I was hoping for, but maybe I can do it here. There. Make me think of paw prints a little bit too. So that's step 4. Okay. Now, clue 5, separate the 3 layers, attach each of the white or vanilla pieces to the slightly larger color 1 pieces, including the folded in half card base. So here I'm going to take this off. And since it doesn't have a whole lot of glue, it came off relatively easily. And now I'm going to attach each of these to the slightly bigger piece. So this will be attached to this one. And this one will pull off. Add some more adhesive. Oh, look at that. That's the end of the line for that one. Wow. And that just really ripped off the whole thing. So let me take this out. And here it is. Okay, and that goes right here. And put that back together. Okay, back in business. All right, much better, much better. Okay, and that needs to go pretty, oh, that already went there. That goes on this one. That's where I got it from. Okay. And then this needs to, oh, hold off on this, adding this one actually. Okay, let's do these. Pull that off, and then this is going to be attached. Whoop. That's going to go here. And then this medium one, we'll pull off here, add more adhesive here, and we'll attach that here. All right, so here's where the clue 5 came in, where I mentioned up at the beginning. So you could trim these at this point. It's a little bit more accurate, I think, than trying to do it at the beginning. Okay. There. So you might have even seen these kinds of cards before. It's probably a name like tiered or something for these cards. I never really, I never knew if there was a name for it, but I'm sure there is. Clue 6, positioning the smallest rectangle set horizontally. So I'm going to call this a set because there's 2 layers together. Punch holes near the left and right sides through both layers and thread the ribbon through the hole from the front, hiding the ribbon under where the words were stamped, and then back up through the other hole. So, hole punch. Gonna punch on the left and right sides. Okay. And we're going to punch holes on either side of the middle size rectangles too. Let's do that with these green ones. And then these. Okay, and then we take the ribbon. So here we have the old olive. It's going to go from the front, underneath where the words were, and then back up through the hole. Okay, like that. So let's do that with this. Whoops. Here's my cut piece. All right, from the back, from the front to the back, because otherwise it'll hide the words. I don't want to do that. And then back up through the other hole. Okay, I'm going to have the blue kind of on the bottom part. All right, so we've got the punch holes on that side, and then put dimensionals on the back of both color 2 pieces. Okay, here is, I'm going to use the bigger ones just to do this quicker, but well, maybe. Oh my goodness, I have such butter fingers today. I said butterscotch. Whatever. And then I'm going to put some in the middle of these. Let's do that with the green. I know, not that great, attractive, but it's useful. And then we'll do this one. Okay, all these pieces with them. So that's clue 6. We're on the home stretch. Yay. Yep, I knew you liked green, so one way or another. But yeah, I'm not a St. Patrick's Day person, but this was cute. It's more of a friendship one, in my opinion, so that's what I went with. Remove dimensional backings from the smallest rectangles and attach to the center of the middle-sized rectangles. Now, I want to make sure that it's not this way, although it doesn't look terrible, but let's do it this way because that's where the flower matches, okay? So take the backs off the centers of the smallest rectangles and attach to the middle, center of the middle triangle. And these ribbons, yes, will be hanging off. So hopefully it'll look like your flower just got extended. And let's do the same with the green. We'll put that in the middle. So I'm going to turn that around because I want this stem to go with that. Okay. See, isn't that a neat effect? I love it. Thread ribbon ends from the front to the back of the holes in the middle layers. Ribbon ends should now be coming from the back. All right, so this is going to go now through that hole. Hold on. Maybe. Okay, like that. And then this looks even better with the wider ribbon. So you can kind of get an idea. This is with the 1/2 inch, with the 5/8 looks even better. Okay. All right. And then let's do that with this. You might even be able to get away with bigger than that. Kind of helpful if you cut this at an angle. This is hard to put through kind of flat like that. Okay, remove the backings on the middle rectangles and center on the biggest rectangles. Put it, all right, let's do that. Biggest ones are going on the, I'm sorry, the middle size one's going on the biggest white rectangle. One more backing, hold on. Okay, and then that's gonna go right here. Let's do that with this one. And arrange like so. Oh, so close. This really could probably have gone with that, but let's do it a little higher. I think it was better off the first time. Goodness, this is sticky stuff. All right, last try. There. All right, remove backings on middle rectangle. Put adhesive on the back sides of the biggest rectangle and attach the ends of the ribbon to the back, and then attach to the card base. So I'm going to put some adhesive here on either side of on the back, and then this ribbon's going to wrap around like that. And then this whole thing's going to get attached to the card base. Here we have card base. There. And let's do the same thing here. So we'll attach the ribbon. Let's put some more adhesive on that. And put on the card base. I like that green one. I think that one's my favorite one so far. Add sparkle or embellishments if you want. Voila. It's not necessary because we do have a non-paper item on here. It's the ribbon. But if you would like to put a little sparkle with maybe rhinestones or pearls or what's it called? Ink of Stella. Be my guest. Ooh, you know what would look nice is these little champagne. Would that be? Maybe something a little bit bigger. That one got kind of a stowaway to this one. So we'll do a bigger rhinestone. Maybe I'll put that there where that got weird. And then just there. This one seems like it needs it even more though. So maybe this iridescent one would work. I like that. So I usually put something big near the words, kind of like an asterisk, if you will. There. All right, I like that. That's even better. Definitely improved that one. All right, so there are my two. I would love to see what you have. So, especially if you have just a rectangle one, these are some corner things that I wanted to try, but yours might look even better. Who knows? So, things to do. See the card that inspired this, which was just leaning up against the oh, here it is. My computer. I was like, what happened to it? Here we are. This was my original. And I did have a die set that did that, but then I had this really pretty satin ribbon, and I think that looks good. And I also used embossing, heat embossing for the words. So that matched the silver of the ribbon. So that was my original. Now, be sure, like I mentioned, go to youcanstamp.com and follow the blog. Check out the online store. Here's the host code if you're ordering anything smaller than, say, $100 or $150. If you have $150, you should use your own. You get there's $15, 10% is free for you. They're all in tiers and everything. But if you're not gonna spend that much, I can put them all together, all these orders, and get the rewards for supplies that we can use and you can watch me use, or even come and do a stamp camp with me. The next one's going to be March 4th. I think that's the date. It's the first Saturday of March. And I'm also doing a Stamp-A-Stack, which I didn't put on here. Stamp-A-Stack, I'm still working on, very much making this harder than it has to be. But the cards I'm very excited about, just as a sneak peek, by the way, is this design. This one I did for our stamp camp, but I'm going to alter that slightly, and then something with the butterflies. All right, and I don't see, these are all too similar. I'm going to run out of paper, so I'm going to have to change the colors a little bit, but not drastically. And I'm going to do one more design, which is going to involve flowers, I believe. So that's going to be posted as soon as I can. And that's going to be February 13th. So if you want to keep that in mind. And then let's see what else. All right, I already mentioned the host code. And then I'm coming back on February 7th for my next Tuesday night broadcast at 8 o'clock. And it's not on Facebook Live, it's YouTube Live now. So please post your mystery card creations under this video in Facebook. And I'm going to give away the card sample I made to one lucky person who posts. So I need to actually go back and look at some of my past ones because I haven't done that for a little bit, but I will. And my next mystery card, if you like doing this, is February 27th. And I usually post it like the Wednesday before. So yeah, here we are. These are the ones that I did. Can't wait to see yours. Hope you had a good time. Maybe got inspired. Maybe had some other ideas that you can take these to another level. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And if you're watching this after the fact, check out some of my other videos. All of the traffic that I get through Stampin' Up. I'm not, well, You Can Stamp and YouTube, they all help me get found and by other people who don't know me maybe as well as you do. And I just really want to get this. I would love to get this like to actually run a little bit more than it is now. So thank you again. Have a wonderful night and hope to see you again soon. And watch out for the stamp a stack. All that information's coming as soon as it can, probably tomorrow at the latest. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.